Hello everyone and welcome back to Talisman Digital Edition. It's been some few months since we last looked at this game. After somewhat burning myself out, get it, cause the dragon burning. After burning myself out somewhat on the buggy open beta, I figured now would be a good time to jump back in since, drumroll, the game has finally been released on Steam. Talisman Digital Edition is now a full game in its own right. Its Steam release was accompanied by the release of the Reaper expansion, which actually came out during the open beta, and a character pack featuring the Exorcist character. I have picked up the Reaper expansion to give you guys a look at that, but I have not picked up the Exorcist character pack, mainly because I disagree with it philosophically. However, those issues aside, what has changed for Talisman? Well, some minor things, like some new options, controlling the speed of the AI, the speed of the camera, and which expansion filters are selected by default. The Reaper expansion pack, of course, is released, and I figured that we would start a game with all of the characters, just to get a good look at how they play. There have been many AI bug fixes, board and card fixes, and just general quality of life issues that really needed to be done. We get 2 bags of gold. Not too shabby. Not the best start. Now, as the knight, we begin the game with a sword and armor. We may add up to 2 to our praying die score. We are always good. We ignore any effect that changes our alignment. And we may not attack other good characters, except on the Crown of Command. I don't know how much most of that is going to come into play, since, well, being always good isn't necessarily a good thing. We don't often do praying. However, our sword and shield gives us a strong early game. If we can capitalize on that, then, well, we can do quite well. So, we are moving the Reaper now. We have rolled a 3 for it, and I think we'll just move it out into our area. The Dark Cultist takes the turn, and is going to battle the Sage. Turned out to be closer a battle than I thought. Stealing the Sage's gold. The Dark Cultist may engage in psychic combat, which wouldn't have been a good idea against the Sage. May receive a gift from the forces of darkness when they defeat another character or enemy, giving good things. And they are always evil, just as we are always good. Some things happened in the background. I doubt they really pertained to us. Someone has gotten a ring. The Dark Cultist. And it's our turn again. Everyone appears to be clumped up over here. We're obviously not going to the graveyard. We're not ready to move into this area, so our only option is the blacksmith, where we will obviously visit the enchantress. We did only start out with 1 fate, which is detrimental to us. And now is not a good time to be a toad, so let's get some strength. Very nice. And there's our turn. The merchant is a gold-based character, as seems relatively obvious, beginning the game with more gold than usual, paying off dragons and monsters that attack, trading with other characters that they land on, and swapping out items in the purchase deck. I don't know that I particularly care for the merchant as a character. While I haven't played as the merchant, it doesn't seem particularly strong. Okay, everyone has lost a turn, I believe. One of the new things is this bar to the left, which shows currently active cards on the board. Ah, the sage has gained a spell. And it's back to us. We could go to the Reaper's space, or draw an adventure card, which I believe is the better option. A werewolf! One of your followers is a werewolf. Roll 1 die for each follower. The one with the highest roll is the beast. He immediately attacks you with strength 3. Well, it's a good thing we don't have any followers. This, of course, being one of the Reaper cards. I am not familiar with the Reaper deck. Myself, my group doesn't have that expansion. This game is my first game with the Reaper deck. So some of this will be as much a surprise to me as everyone else. The Sage begins the game with 1 spell, always has a spell at the beginning of his turn, can look at the top of the Adventurance spell decks, and can re-roll movement once. Sounds like somebody got a wolf or something. Ah yes, looks like he has picked up a pack of wolves. The Sage, casting Barrier, it looks like. And encountering a Lemure, which should be no problem for him. And indeed, it is not. We're not in a terribly good position, having no fate. But we'll see how it goes. We could encounter the Dark Cultist. Does the Dark Cultist have anything that I want? A ring. Yes, indeed, she does. Let's give that a shot. A 10. And, of course, she rolled exactly what she needed for a standoff. Somewhat disappointing. Not the worst of events, but not the best either. Part of our early game advantage with our sword and armor, armor, depends on us attacking either characters or monsters. We're not doing a terribly good job thus far of capitalizing on that advantage. The Dark Cultist may in fact be doing better than we are. The Dark Cultist is coming up to our strength value. Okay, and we're back. What do we have here? A Colossus. Follower adds 2 to strength during battle. That seems really quite nice. Let's go there and take it. After taking away everyone's spells with a magical vortex that doesn't affect us at all. Quite a successful turn, I think. It appears that we have new card options for the Warlock's Cave, I think. Warlock's Cave? Yeah. I think most of what I'm going to be impressed with in this game aren't the major sweeping Reaper inclusions and so on. It's going to be that things work. That the AI don't do completely stupid things. Ah! The Banshee has taken a bite out of the sage. Could be somewhat good for us. We are in no position to fight a Banshee, however. So let's just move on a bit and draw a card. A dragon. Well, this may not go as well. Although we are 1 up on it, so might not be too bad. An 11 versus his 9. Very nice. That is an instant turn-in. These are the sorts of snowballs that we need. We can move the Reaper, although not to anywhere particularly useful. Let's hit the Dark Cultist. Choose another character for the Grim Reaper to visit, which will probably be us. Ah, no, the Merchant. Good. I didn't want to be hit by a Grim Reaper anyway. And the Merchant misses a turn. Not my intent, but not too bad either. The Dark Cultist is in a quite good position right now on the middle area. Somewhat more fraught with danger, but with more opportunity as well. We might think about going in there to join, since drawing more cards and such is very good for us. Potentially. No particular reason to go in any direction. A map. After rolling the dice in the mines, subtract 2 from the total. Quite good. I don't think we're going to be very item dependent at the end of the game, so we should be able to hold on to that. Although if we can pick up a ring from her, and maybe some other good magical items, it might cause us to drop that map. It looks like we are the only good character in this game, which means that our inability to attack good characters may not affect us in the least. Some more gold. Okay. Nothing terribly exciting. I kind of want to go to this tavern, but we'll just draw an adventure card instead. A Cave Troll Strength 6. I think we can beat it. So it's 12. And it did not roll a 6. So, if you defeat the Cave Troll, roll 1 die. If you roll a 1 or 2, it regenerates and counts as a standoff. Ah, very nice. It does not in fact regenerate, nor do I have to burn it with fire, which would be the case in something like Neverwinter Nights. An arena! Are you going to summon anyone to fight? Apparently not. A magic belt. I want one of those. Another person that I need to beat up. Take their lunch money. And their magic items. The Gathering. Face up spirits. Attack the sage, which didn't go well for him last time. Nor will it go well for him this time. The sage is not doing particularly well, being half dead already. So, what have we on this space? Some gold. And another draw. Let's take advantage of that. A mage. I think we can get one spell. All good things. Summon Phoenix. Another Reaper expansion card, which is this little skull here. Cast when you are about to engage in battle. The Phoenix fights in your place with a strength of 5. If the Phoenix wins, the creature is killed or the opposing character must lose 1 life. If the Phoenix loses, your turn ends immediately. And we do take trophies with it. Not too shabby. We might find some use for it. Travel. Ah. Very good. A wild boar should be no problem for anyone. Being a strength 1 creature. And the Dark Cultist gains a gold for killing a thing. That seems like it could be potentially very strong throughout the entire game. The Dark Cultist may in fact be the best out of these expansion characters. The Sage is situationally very good. The Knight seems very good, if snowballed, from the very early game. Otherwise, about as good as, say, 3/4 of a warrior. And here we move on. A lot of people down here, so let's join that area. And an outlaw. If you have any gold, he takes 1. If you have none, he gives you 1. Huh. Okay, well, I didn't particularly need to buy anything anyhow. So that's fine. Just kind of nothing happening on our turns. We need some more monsters. Ah, and we are to be engaged in psychic combat. Fortunately, the Dark Cultist rolled low. If we can roll high, we can take the ring. Ah, that was quite the mistake, Dark Cultist. Our power grows. We are now at 7 strength. And the merchant's taking a stab at that banshee, managing to do what the sage could not. Ah, apparently the sage is not willing to engage the merchant in combat. So, what shall we do? Is there anything useful for us to do in the village? We could potentially gain some craft. We haven't lost any health. We don't particularly need to buy anything. So how about our other square? The forest could gain us a craft, but there are some detrimental effects as well. So let's just go here to the Mystic and roll our die, where we gain 1 craft with no potential detriment. Very good. Not a bad turn overall. We cannot hit anyone with the Reaper, so We'll just move him around a bit. The Dark Cultist may go after this ghost, Phantom. As an evil character, quite good for him. Spot of tea here. Another wild boar with a standoff. Ah! That may be the first time I've ever seen the AI re-roll a combat. Very nice. The sage going to the graveyard to not do very much, I suppose. We could theoretically attempt to pass the sentinel. I do want that magic bell. Ah, no, that's the arena. My bad. There is really no reason to go in there, so let's go away from the Reaper. Seems like a good strategy. Lord of the Pit. The ruler of the Pit Fiends has emerged from the inner region and claimed this area. If you kill the Lord of the Pit, you may teleport to the Plane of Peril. You must choose whether to attack the Lord of the Pit using Strength or Craft. He is only at an 8. I will take this chance. That's a neat looking card, too. Where we will fight him with Strength, of course. And roll extremely badly. Still managing to pull out a win. And dare I? The answer to that question is always yes. We have some trophies to trade in. And we can, in fact, get 2 strength out of this. Very nice. We might have a chance at winning a very early game here. While this isn't an extremely good demonstration of some of the characters' strengths, like the Merchant or the Sage, the Dark Cultist has been shown pretty well, I think. Although one of those times really backfired on her when I took a ring. And if I'm not able to complete this path, the game may actually go on quite a bit longer. The Sage drawing a Nightmare. Craft 4. Which beats him by 1. The Sage is not having a good day. Misdirection. Well, that could be somewhat bad. Well. Okay, didn't particularly screw with me. An 11. Moving me back to the door. That's fine. A serpent. Should be handily defeated. And indeed it is, with a roll of 1. Moving on. If I can get another strength or 2, I feel pretty confident about going back through this area. The Merchant, taking a turn. Potentially going after the Dark Cultist, but no. Going to be toaded. Or gain a spell. An equally viable option. A gust of wind. Character must roll 1 die for each of their objects. On a 1 or 2, the object is blown 6 spaces away. It would be somewhat bad for us for the Dark Cultist to get that. I don't think it's a problem for the Sage to have it, since the Sage is not going to engage us in combat anyway. The Oasis looks particularly tempting. We don't want to go here. So a bear, very good, and a concealed pouch. We may place 1 object on this card. Neither the pouch nor the object count towards our limit. If we lose an attack, they can't take the object or the pouch. That's pretty good. But first we have to kill this bear, which might be a bit of an issue, since it does have 3 strength. We only beat it by 10 points, so a bit close. And we have a concealed pouch, which I feel the ring would be good to set. Very nice. We can trade in some trophies at an exact exchange. I feel pretty good about going in here now. Might actually be a bit of an issue. The Hobgoblin defeating the Dark Cultist. Which is good. We don't want the Dark Cultist getting too many favors at this point. One thing that we might think about is taking this route instead. I think that may, since we have the map, I'll have to look at that when we get there. The Sage finally defeating his nightmare. No one is really in a position to stop us, except for random chance. A guide. Essentially useless. The vampire might be able to take him. And I would be okay with that. At this point, someone really needs to either teleport to our region or go across from the tavern. I don't think anyone could really fight the Sentinel. At this point, the Dark Cultist is really my main opposition. And frankly, I'm not terribly worried about it. So, the Merchant taking an Elixir of Wisdom to gain a craft. Ah, the Sage, paying for some healing. All well and good. I really feel like gambling. Let's go here. And look at the space. An 8. Gain a spell. Adding 1 to our dice wouldn't really change anything, so sure, let's use that. We can teleport. Alright. We can use that to get here. The Reaper, not gonna be doing very much. So we'll move next to the Sage. If we can make his day a little bit worse, that would probably be good. A maze. Which won't affect us in the least, but may help us. Not sure why the sage went to the graveyard. He didn't do anything there. Oh well, let's use our teleport. And move over here. Saint Josephine. You may heal up to your life value at any time. Saint Josephine then transcends to the discard pile. Oh, I'd never seen that. That's pretty neat. Probably going to be eaten by the vampire. But that's okay. I apologize in advance, Saint Josephine. Ah, goodbye, Hobgoblin. It was a valiant attack. Gaining a craft on the Dark Cultist. And a strength turn in by the looks of it. And if I'm not mistaken, this Dark Cultist actually is using some runestones, since I forgot to remove them. Cerberus, strength and craft. Oh, good. I kind of want to eat that card. Displacement. Huh, okay. Well. Someone appears to be taking away my Cerberus. Sad day. Well, I'll roll a movement. If I land on it, that's good. If not, I'll just go in here. A Miser Dragon. It's a neat looking card. Completely owning the Sage. Like, beating him up and taking his lunch money bad. Well, okay, looks like we're going in here. Using our strength, of course. Easily winning that particular exchange. And we'll see if we can't make our way through to the Crown of Command. While we have a bit of a lull, I have been giving some more thought to the online games, and I think I might stream some of them on like Twitch and then record 4 videos. Not the usual solo commentary sort of thing, but maybe I'll see how that goes. I've been wanting to stream some more things lately. Wow, the Sage is really having a bad day now. Okay, and it's our turn. So, let's look at our item, our map. After rolling the dice in the mines, subtract 2. I believe this one is the mines, where we roll 3 dice and subtract our craft. And subtract 2, so if we get all 6s, that's 18. Minus 2 is 16. 11. Which would take us to the tavern. Well, you know, one thing that I kind of did not consider, we'll call it shaking off the rust or something. I don't have a talisman. Slight problem. I will have to get a talisman. I know like 500 people are yelling at me right now, so that's completely fine. That was a horrible, horrible thing to do. We'll go ahead and go over here to the Warlock. See if we can get a talisman there. Wow, I can't believe I did that. That was pretty dumb. I mean, it is the name of the game. Ah, oh well. Displacing more things. Essentially to no effect. Using a fate to reroll his movement for mysterious reasons. Ah, well. So, we'll just turn back. Sadly. We'll have to do this again. But I feel pretty confident about this particular path. Once we get a talisman, of course. The Dark Cultist taking a life from the merchant. Who is going to heal? Probably a good choice. You have to do something with all that gold. Which is one of the reasons that I think the merchant is not as viable a character as the rest. Gold doesn't buy you that much. Ah, a pool of life. Very good. That'll give us a good buffer. Not that we really need it. Everybody's pretty much hurting except the merchant, because he just healed. We could go after that fairy. But that would take us too far out of our way. And it's probably not worth it. The merchant versus a gargoyle. The merchant and a potion of strength versus a gargoyle. A 9. 4 or better. Nope. Looks like the merchant has successfully defeated the gargoyle. Turning in an even 7 this time instead of all of their strength-based creatures. A distinct improvement over previous iterations. Ah, excuse me. A little bit of a drink there. A 1. Well, we're not going to the Black Knight. That would just be silly. So we'll do nothing here instead, where we don't have to pay money. We can't hit anyone with the Reaper, but we'll move it around. Dark Cultist gaining a spell. Fine. I don't think it'll dramatically affect our win. Although I don't know what spells are available in the Reaper deck. There could be some new things out there that I don't know about that could kind of kill me. A Jester. You must take the Jester as a follower, blah blah blah. There's some other stuff. May discard the Jester at the castle or tavern. Although, oh, your attack rolls are reduced by 1. Huh. Okay. Not great, not bad. Well, I don't have what it takes to go to the desert, although I do have an extra health. So we'll just go over this way to the runestones. Draw a princess. Okay. Not great, not bad. Kind of a do-nothing turn. Ah, the Dark Cultist destroying the fairy. Probably a decent option. Since I'm her main competition at this point, and that would be a bad card for me to have. From her perspective, a Wheel of Fate. I don't think she used any fate, so that's fine. A Chimera would probably be good for me to pick that up too, but I really don't want to go back to the Outer Ring. I may have to, depending on this Warlock's quest. If I can ever hit the Warlock. Oh well, we'll lose a life at the desert. Since I at least get to draw a card there. An Echor. This cowardly creature will flee from anyone stronger than him. If your strength is higher than 2, the Echor will flee 1 space clockwise instead of fighting you. Otherwise, it will remain here until it is killed. Okay. Fine. I guess we do nothing. I would very much like to roll a 1. On the other hand, no one else has a talisman either, so nobody's really competing at this point for any particular region. Again, the Wheel of Fate. Where 1 fate is lost to the merchant. A dragon. Going to take the last of the sage's lives. The sage is dead. Ah, it doesn't change the character card. Okay. A 1. No. Ah, oh well. We'll just stay in this area. A mule. Very handy. And the Dark Cultist. Picking up a shield. Fine. Shouldn't really do anything. A Crypt Keeper Craft 5. Let's see if the Sage is going to have a bad day again. Yes, indeed. This Sage is really having a rough time of it, this game. Ah, there we are, to the Warlock. And what? We can deliver a follower immediately. The cost must be paid. See, I have it here, the very bauble you seek, but it is worthless, inert, a trinket fit only for scrap. If you would have your talisman, then a price must be paid in blood. You know what you must do. Okay. Take the guide. Go for it. Boom. Instant talisman. Great. Excellent. Now we can go for the game. And with our mule, we have no real item overage concerns. I kind of want to sweep down here. Ah, someone has gained a thing. The merchant. Okay. Apparently the Dark Cultist sicked the Reaper on the merchant. which backfired somewhat, and the merchant has a talisman, although can't pick it up. Indeed. If the Dark Cultist gets a hold of that, it could modify our chances somewhat. Lots of people going after that fate. Which I suppose is fine, since we're going to go win the game momentarily here. Ah. That's not very good. 2 craft creatures totaling 15. Which... yeah, we're just gonna auto-lose this. I don't care. I have enough health. And I don't care about craft anyhow, so... fine. We'll wait one more turn. Oh, please get toaded. No, gain a craft. That's kind of not very good for us. The Dark Cultist is doing pretty well. Especially in comparison to the other characters, the Sage and the Merchant. The Sage appears to be re-rolling a lot of things. Ah, the Sage, willing to Psionic Blast. The Strength 3 Chimera. Well, it's going to win. Pretty handily. And we'll get our life back right here at the Pool of Life. Excellent. Things are looking up. We appear to be right up on 50 minutes almost. Which appears to be about the length of a standard game. Anyway, we may not have shortened it at all in our actions. A Fate Stealer. That sounds pretty good. What is that? Add 1 to strength when you use the Fate Stealer. Oh, as the name implies, you gain a fate when you cause them to lose a life. Okay. Sage is targeting me for something. A random. Ah. Well then. I kind of wish I could do something about that. Instead, we gain a strength. The joke, as they say, is on you. A Spectre should be no issue. Except that the Sage has died. And that was actually much closer than I expected. Even though everyone rolled extremely crappy. So let's go on in. A 10 versus our 11. Very nice. I don't know if I... well, I want to avoid Dice with Death. A 5. Almost hitting the Dark Cultist, which would be quite good. But there's more people in this direction, so we'll go over there. Well, the Dark Cultist is slightly closer to us, although probably not going to be an issue since the Dark Cultist does not have a talisman. I believe? No. The Merchant has lost a life. Good for us. Apparently the Sage ran all the way through his spells and took another one. Re-rolling so many times for movement for really no reason. Okay, healing up a bit again. I feel like this is the better path, with the mines being our weakest spot. So, we go to the Warlock. Fine. The Dark Cultist is actually now in a position to attack us, which is not very good overall, but I don't think the Dark Cultist would win in such a case. I think I might turn the AI speeds down so I can actually see what cards they are operating with at some point. What is here? Ah, yes, the E-Core. Well, I don't particularly want to go here, so the E-Core will move again, and we will defeat a dragon. We can auto-kill the dragon and immediately turn it in for another strength. Very, very nice. I guess we'll go this route. I really don't like Dice of Death. But if we hit the Pool of Life on the way in, it could very well work out for us. Orb of Destiny. There are apparently a lot of Reaper cards coming out. So what is that? When you pay a fate to reroll, you may roll 2 and choose. Okay. That's not too bad, actually. Huh. Well, this is somewhat disappointing. I kind of want to oh, I have no fate. Well, damn. I guess we're going to lose some life and not attack an E-Core again. Ah, here we are. Grim Reaper, go do something nasty to the Dark Cultist. Like causing them to lose a life? No, a follower. Not the best, not the worst. That's fine. It's okay. The Dark Cultist probably doesn't go down the chasm. A Fiend Slayer follower. Again, a Reaper card that I didn't read. The Sage, not doing very much at all. In the one case where he probably shouldn't have moved there. But it's fine. Let's... Okay. We were healed, I believe, because we had the princess. Dark Cultist versus Dragon. And since she has no fate, the dragon wins. I'm not sure why she moved out to the outer area. A crone, apparently auto-killed by the merchant. Okay, and our rise to power is almost complete. Auto-open. It's fine. And there we go. I'll just take the Grim Reaper route this time. The extremely high barrier to entry for the craft on this side hasn't really worked out for us. And has overcome my distaste for Dice with Death. So they're doing some infighting, blah blah blah, we win. Apparently the merchant is auto-killing things. Oh no, he's paying them off, that's what it is. Okay, Gaining some more craft. He is actually somewhat a threat at this point. Although I think we've won the game now, unless Dice with Death completely kills us. Which is a distinct possibility. And the reason that I don't like this path. 10 versus 12. Very good. The Merchant and the Sage, dueling. Actually, closer than I thought it would be. Taking his Sword of Light and throwing it on the ground. Okay, I guess the Sage doesn't have it anymore. And here we go. Dice with Death. Please let this go well. I did not roll very well at all. But... and an achievement. Best of 2 out of 3. Yes, the game comes with achievements now. On its official release, all of those achievements were enabled. And apparently we just got one. Very cool. And with that, the game is won. The den is not going to affect us in the least. We can probably auto-kill it. We have a talisman for this area. And, oh, the merchant does not have a talisman, so... Sorry, bud, but you're a bit too late. We're going to go kill an 8. Auto-kill the werewolf. Boom. And it's very unlikely that anything will stand in our way. Unless, of course, there are some spells or items that I don't know about in the Reaper deck. The merchant just kind of gives up. Taking his gold, and his life, and running. The Sage apparently doesn't like any of his initial rolls. Alright. Our, hey, do you have a talisman? Square, not holding us back. The Dark Cultist, for some reason, going to the thing that she can't pick up and dropping it on the ground. Little stuff like that. Why would you move there? Rah. An elixir of might. That's cool. Dropping an orb of knowledge? What madness is this? To gain... Okay, 2 strength is quite a lot. I don't know if it was worth it. The orb is worth a lot. Well, a lesser demon is going to kill him. Although it won't do anything because of this Stormcrow. That's a neat card, though. I like the graphic on it. And here we are at the Crown of Command. Boom. Apparently, we don't have to roll for it at all. Or we do? Ah. I don't know. Ah. Well, maybe if we do this and jump. Ah. Okay, my bad. Crypt Keeper going down. To the Dark Cultist. Probably a turn-in. A Casket. Another new one. Gain a Talisman. Ah. That's potentially bad, although if the Dark Cultist attacks me, it's psychic combat, and we're pretty close. If I attack her, it's regular combat, and I am really confident about that. I don't think the Dark Cultist is a threat, anyhow. Even though she has a talisman and all. One thing is that those status effect cards go away. Somewhat awkward. Okay, here we go again. With the command spell. Roll the dice. A 2. I wish the command spell would have the text that it did before, explaining the die roll. But apparently they've changed that. Which I suppose is their prerogative. I keep forgetting to see if the space text has changed. Ah, causing the merchant to lose a life. That's good for me. The Dark Cultist gains a spell, which I think is going to ultimately be useless unless it is a heal. And my lack of foresight to take away those runes is biting me in the backside somewhat. As the Dark Cultist traded in for fewer than 7 points. Go on, Sage. The Mystic. Ignoring the Sage. Here we go again. With the command spell. Roll good. That's not very good. Okay, I kind of hope somebody comes up to the Crown of Command because I can beat them. And it will be faster than randomly killing them. Transference. Switch spaces. Huh. That's kind of neat. Not sure why you would do it in that particular case, but that's alright. Ah, what are we being targeted for? Taking away our talisman? Okay, we're already here. I don't think that affects us. You just need it to get past that square. Yeah, shouldn't kill us. A dryad, huh. Well then. A ghost. Very good. It'll go somewhere. To the castle. I feel like the Reaper hasn't done a whole lot this game and has taken a lot of time. Come on. I think a 4 wins. Ah. Check the space. 1 to 3, no effect. 4 to 6, all other characters. Yeah. Okay. So very nice. Boom. The merchant is almost dead. That'll take care of one piece of opposition. The sage next, and finally the dark cultist. A hippogriff. Instantly killed by the dark cultist. The dark cultist actually has quite a bit of strength going on now. I don't particularly fear it at the moment, but it is worrisome for the future. Potentially. And now we're about 5 minutes over an hour, so this is actually turning into a bit of a long game. And the Dark Cultist has used Preservation, meaning the Dark Cultist no longer has Preservation for the command spell. If I'm remembering Preservation right, it causes you to not lose a health when you otherwise would. Come on, kill the merchant. The merchant lives another day. It is a sad day. Ha! A poltergeist. The Dark Cultist dropping her talisman. What? That's dumb. Don't do that. If I were in the Dark Cultist's position, I would be going after me. Trying to kill me. So apparently the AI is still very capable of making horrible decisions. But let's see if we can off the merchant. No. No, we cannot. The merchant will live forever. And there's that damn Cerberus that I would like to have killed. But no. Well, at least it beat her up. Ha! Take that, you dark cultist. Oh, because the dark cultist already has 2 talismans. Holy crap. Okay, well then. Oh, whirlwind. May take away his magic belt. No. Fate Stealer? Yes. Perhaps? And his talisman? I think he keeps that. Ah, oh well. Well, let's see if we can kill him. No. That is the 3rd one in a row. Come on. You have seriously got to be kidding me right now. 3 ones in a row. Meanwhile, the Dark Cultist is getting saber-toothed tigers and all. Which she foolishly didn't fight, I think. No, that would have been good for, you know, turn-ins. Oh well. The Sage. What is the Sage up to these days? Apparently not much. Paying for the mercenary, even though you can't pay for the mercenary to actually affect your combat at all. Merchant die? Merchant die. Okay. Very good. The Sage is next with 1 health. And then we just have to kill off the Dark Cultist. So this video should only be 2 or 3 hours long. That's a lot of gold. 4 pieces of gold. Huh. Ah, well. A Holy Grail. Not that it will do him any good. Alright, kill Sage. Kill Sage. It's down to you and me, Dark Cultist. Yet more gold. The Dark Cultist is rich. But there is no rich when the command spell kills you. Which, apparently it will not. Okay, you can remain rich. Not coming in. Oh well. 9, I think, was get a spell, yeah. Okay. Hurt Cultist? Maybe? Hurt Cultist. Very, very nice. She's down to 1. As long as there are no healing spells, or she doesn't run into a healer, or the game randomly decides to make the game go longer. Come on. One last time. Kill Cultist. Kill Cultist? No. Ugh. This is about half the time what causes our local games to go wrong. And the Dark Cultist decided to suicide on the desert space. Okay, I accept. A winner is me. So those are... Ah, Battlemaster. Those are the... Pied Piper? Huh. Achievements. Strongest. Trophy Master. Winner. Okay. So, that was an overview. I think the Dark Cultist could be quite strong. Especially if you can consistently get these gifts from the Force of Darkness. Starting stats aren't terribly good. But I'm not too impressed with the Merchant or the Sage. The Sage, situationally, could be very useful, just like all the other spell-based characters. The Knight, I feel, is pretty strong. Although the AI did stupid things, I think the Knight could be good in a real game. The Dark Cultist definitely has strengths. So, there we have it. Talisman is a go, available on Steam. The Reaper expansion and the Exorcist are also available. And I think I will end up streaming some online games. And I will let you guys know if that ends up being a real thing. But for now, this has been a review of the newly released Talisman, as well as the Reaper expansion pack. We'll see you guys next time.